Hi, my name is Jonathan Frazier and I'm a culinary instructor at North Island College. This is my reflection on learning for PDIP 3351. Over the next few minutes, I want to share some of my biggest takeaways, things I've learned about developing a learner's mindset, understanding different kinds of assessment, and my experience making a media-enhanced feed-forward video. One of the biggest lessons for me was developing a learner's mindset. In the kitchen, and honestly in the classroom too, it's so easy to get caught up trying to make everything perfect the first time. But what I realized is growth doesn't come from perfection. It comes from trying, messing up, and then figuring out how to do it better next time. I see this in my students all the time. Maybe their sauce splits, or their bread doesn't rise the way they want it to. Instead of calling it a failure, I turn to them, this is a learning moment. And this course reminds me to do the same for myself. When I watched the first couple of lesson videos, I'll be honest, the words were flying at me, but none of it was sinking in. With a learner's mindset though, I gave myself permission to slow down, go back, and practice. Kind of like redoing a recipe until you finally comes together. And really, that's a skill every chef needs. No matter how long you've been cooking, you're going to burn something, over-season something, or drop something. The real question is, do you get frustrated, or do you see this as part of the process? Honestly, some of my biggest teaching moments have come from mistakes in the kitchen. Having a learner's mindset lets me laugh at those moments and turn them into lessons, for me and for my students. Another big takeaway for me was learning about assessment. Before this course, I thought assessment kind of like plating a dish, a final judgment. But now I see it as much more than that. Assessment of learning is like presenting the finished dish. It shows what you've accomplished. Assessment for learning is like when you walk by a student during prep and give them pointers so they can make changes before the final plate. Assessment as learning is like when students taste their food as they go, making their own adjustments. That's when they really start owning their learning. As an instructor, that clicks with me. My role isn't just to grade the final product. It's to create opportunities for students to reflect, adjust, and grow along the way. One of the most unique parts of this course was making my own media-enhanced feed-forward video. Normally, when I give feedback, it's in person, in the kitchen, maybe through written notes. But making this video pushed me to think differently. It kind of reminded me of doing a cooking demo. Instead of just writing instructions, I got to explain, encourage, and use my voice to really connect. I admit it felt a little awkward at first, talking to the camera instead of a person. But then I thought, hey, I already talk to onions, garlic, and roasted chicken sometimes, so talking to a camera isn't that strange. Once I got over that, I realized how powerful it can be. Because feed forward isn't just about pointing out what to fix. It's about motivating and supporting everyone so they feel encouraged to keep improving. And when students can actually hear your tone, your energy, and not just read plain text, it really sticks. Overall, this course has really changed the way I think about learning. Building a learner's mindset, understanding different ways of assessment can work, and making a feed-forward video gave me new tools I can use as a student and as a teacher. My biggest takeaway is that learning, whether in the kitchen or in the classroom, it isn't just about the final product. It's about the process, the practice, and the willingness to keep improving. And that's something I will carry forward at North Island College, both with my students and in my own professional growth. I want my students to see that it's okay to take risks, to fail, and to laugh at them along the way. Because if you can do that in the kitchen, you don't just become a better cook, you become a better learner in every parts of life. Thank you for listening to my reflection.